ongoing war between the Imperium and the Orcs, the Astra Militarum are broken down into smaller splinter regiments, expecting nothing more than hit and run attacks from the Xeno beasts at this point. But once again, the High Command has underestimated the Orcs, and after reports of another nearby splinter regiment being wiped out by a huge Orc attack, the Cadians of the 29th, they've had to scramble to put together a defensive position and wait for the approaching storm. So as you can tell, this is a narrative battle report. So this is a special mission. It's out of this month's White Dwarf. So this is June 2018. So this is the one. So basically, let's have a look here. It's Last Stand at Glazers Creek 2. But we're going to call ours Orks Rift. And the reason why is because basically this mission is just like the film Zulu. There's a last stand in the middle, and then there's just hordes and hordes of orcs that are going to come in. So what it is, it's, if you've ever played a computer game like Horde mode, there's just wave after wave. So how this mission works is the Imperial Guard, they select 50 power level of army. So that's what we've got here. We'll go through just what's in it in a second. But the Orcs, they get a fresh army at the start of every wave. Now a wave is it's not a battle round. What it is, it's actually, if you think about it, is a full 40k turn. So the way that the Imperial Guard stop the wave, or stop that wave dead and then we'll go on to a different wave, is they have to kill 50% of the models on the board for the Orcs, and that stops the wave, and then you start another wave and the Orcs get a fresh army. So waves for the Orcs, they've got, they can have up to 5, but they must choose between 3, 4 and 5. It's kept a secret, and whatever assault they choose, they might get additional units. So there's 4 and 2 and then 0 for how long waves they choose to go for. So I wouldn't worry about understanding it at the moment. You'll get the idea once we start playing the game. But what the Orcs do to decide on what army they've got during a wave, they roll 3 times on a leader's table, so they'll have 3 HQ choices. So they've got a power rating of 4 to 7, depends on how high you roll. And then they roll 6 times on another chart with a power rating of 4 up to 10. So it depends on what you do. Again, don't worry about if you understand that or not just yet, but we'll cover that as we do it. So the way the Orcs come into the game is there's 4 corners here. They roll 1, 2, 3, 4. On a 5 and 6 they can pick the corner and whatever they deploy in, and they must do that on a unit to unit basis. So again, we'll cover that when we come to it. So what's different about this mission is when the Imperial Guard take casualties, they don't take any morale checks because it's a desperate last stand, and if they die they go into a hospital. So this is the hospital. And then for every casualty that's taken, you roll on this injury result table. So if you roll a 1 or 2, they're dead. On a 3 to 4, they stay in the hospital. On a 5 to 6, they join the fight again. So the Imperial Guard have ways of getting back into the fight, but it's very desperate. And of course, that'll be shown better once the game actually is underway. The hospital itself, it has got a profile so the Orcs can destroy it. It's toughness 8, it's got a 3+ save and 15 wounds. So that's the hospital. If it's destroyed, we can select another building to be the hospital. It might be the one in the back. So we'll see how it goes. And of course, as you see, the Imperial Guard, they set up in their defences in the middle to 12-inch radius that they've got to be in from the middle of the board. So it's a 24-inch circle. And the Orcs come in, as we've just said there. So the Imperial Guard have cover. The Orcs are not meant to have any cover at all, really. So here's a picture of the battlefield in the White Dwarf, so we'll try to represent that the best we can. So the Orcs just have very small amounts of terrain there. So don't worry if you didn't catch all that, it'll become very clear once we actually start the ball rolling. So the best thing to remember is it's just like the film Zulu, but in the future with aliens and brave Imperial Guard. So this is 50 power level of the Astra Militarum Defendant force, so we're going to be using the Cadian Regimental Doctrine, and we've got a few formations or detachments in here, so we've tried to get as many command points for the entire game. So we've got a battalion for 5 points, and then we've got a elite detachment as well for an extra point. And of course we're Battleforged, so we've got 9 command points in total. Our Warlord has the Warlord trait, Grand Strategist, so he's going to be able to regain command points on a 5. He also gets almost a free command reroll as well, type thing. He's going to have a relic. It's going to be the Death Mask of Oleanus. So he's going to have a 4+ invulnerable save, and he can heal himself D3 wounds in the turn. So trying to make him as survivable as possible, since he is the head of this Defendant force here. So he's the commander. He's a HQ choice. We've got another regimental officer there. Just behind he's got a bolt gun. The commander, he's got a bolt gun and power fist. There's 2 command squads to go with. We've got one with a banner, 2 melter guns and a voxcaster. In this one, a banner, 2 grenade launchers and a medic. We've got a 3rd HQ, he's for the Vanguard, the elite detachment. To the Lord Commissar, he's got a power weapon and plasma pistol. Then we've got troops, so we've got 4 troops. We've got 2 identical squads here, just with a flamer, voxcaster and a sergeant in each. And then these 2 are exactly the same. We've got an autocannon and a grenade launcher and a sergeant and vox in each. Then we've got a unit of veterans here, so there's 3 melter guns, there's a rocket launcher, and the sergeant's got a bolt pistol. We've got a heavy weapon squad with all heavy bolters. We've got a support Chimera here, it's got everything that you see, heavy flamer in the hull. 3 sentinels, there's a squadron with multi-lasers on. And then we've got a few characters here. We've got a priest, and we've got a tech priest engine seer. So we've seen what's in the Astra Militarum force. Let's see what the Orcs are going to have for the first wave. So what they're going to do is they're going to roll 3 times on this chart. This is for the HQs, and 3 times on this chart. So we're going to use green die. 6 times on this chart. So there's going to be 6 green ones and 3 red ones. Okay, so let's get this organised. So there's 3 4s, 2 5s, 1 2, and then a 6, a 5 and a 3. So these are the HQ ones. So the 6, he's going to be able to select a HQ choice of a power rating of 7 or less. He's got a 5 for HQ, so he's going to have a power rating of 6 or less to choose for HQ. Then a 3, it's a HQ choice with a power rating of 5 or less. Alright, and then for his boys, he's got 2 5s, so 5. It's going to be 2 units with a power rating of 8 or less. And he's got 3 4s, so 7 or less for power rating, and then a 2 is a unit with a power rating of 5 or less. So that's how you generate an Orc attack for each wave. So deployment for the first wave, we've got, might as well show you where the Imperial Guard's set up. So we've got a unit on top of the building now, we've got a command squad there, we've got the company commander, he's on top as well, heavy bolter squad. We've got a Chimera here, that's got the veterans in. Then we've got a squad up top here. We've got 2 squads manning the defences there. We've got the sentinels in the middle, another command squad in the middle, the other commander, and then the Commissar, the Lord Commissar. The priest is there as well, and the Mechanicus tech priest, he's just on the corner there looking after his vehicles. So before the game began, we did choose to put another relic on the lieutenant. He's now got Kurov's Aquila. So he's going to try and generate stolen command points on a 5. Right, so we saw the Orcs generate the dice, and then this is how they deploy. So for each unit that they're selected, they roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 that can deploy in any corner they want, and this is how it's all turned out for them. So the Orcs have a unit of boys here. They've got a unit of tank busters. They've got a war boss there as well. Zagstruck, he's turned up as well with his rocket pack. And then there's a looter squad in this corner, and then over in this corner we've got a solo shock attack gun big mech. In this corner over here we've got a unit of 10 shooter boys, and then another superstar's turned up, Mad Dog Grotznik. He's in there as well, so they're totally out of sight behind that box. And in the last corner over here there's just a unit of 10 shooter boys. So each boy squad has a knob with them, and they've got a big shooter each. So how the Imperial Guard have got to stop this wave is they've got to kill half of the Orc models. So the Orcs on the board, they've got 44 models, so the Imperial Guard are going to have to kill 22 models, and then the wave stops, and then we'll refresh and start again. And because the Orcs have selected a Battleforged army with a battalion, they've got 8 command points for this wave. Alright, so that's everything set up now, so we're ready to go. The Orcs will go first unless the Imperial Guard can steal the initiative on a 6. To 5, close, but no cigar. So the Orcs will spring out the hills, guns blazing, see what they do. Okay, so the Orcs set off down the hill, so the looters stay still of course, but everyone else sets off down the hill. So these have advanced, the tank busters haven't, but then the two characters just showing reckless abandon and just flying out in front of the horde. Right, we've got this unit, they've moved over to the left, they're going to fire a big shooter, and then the corner behind, in the corner behind that box, they've moved over to here, staying at long range. The big shooter will contribute, but they're just buying the time a little bit. And of course in the corner the big mech with a shot attack gun stands perfectly still. He needs all the help he can get. When I said he's dangerous to himself and the enemy possibly, depends on what he wants to do that day. Right, the Orcs are going to start shooting. The tank busters are going to go after the Chimera, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's also playing a stratagem for more dagger. So let's see if I get that with Kuro's Aquila. Nope, don't gain a stratagem. Now the Orcs are going to let loose with those rockets. So there's 5 of them, hitting on 5s. So there's a 6, that means he gets an extra shot. With dagger. Alright, so those are good. He gets to reroll those 3 because tank busters are tank busters. And that is a ridiculous amount of hits for an Orc. So there's 5 hits, the strength 8, so needing 3s to wound. That's a bit better, so only 2 wounds.
Reroll on one.
Alright, there's a command reroll, he gets it. See if we steal that command point. Nope. So 3 go through. Has the Chimera got cover from there?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so he's rocket to AP -2, so we'll count them as AP -1 with the cover. So it's 7 on 4s, and each of these rockets is 3 damage, so they're really powerful. But we'll save them all. That is very, very, very lucky. Alright, next to shoot was this Orc boy unit that did advance, so there were 6s to hit. They were firing at the heavy weapons team, but we did play the stratagem for take cover, which gives us a +1 to our cover save, and we did get the point back for our command trait with the warlord. So we need to save that on a 3 because we're in hard cover with that stratagem in play. We do. So save that shooter shot, but now it's the looters on the hill. They're going to have a crack at the heavy weapons team as well. Number of shots they're getting, it's D3. So that's there's 5 of them times 3. It's 15 looter shots. So they stood still, so they're hitting on 5s. And again, that's pretty good for the Orcs. It's these magic green dice. And so 6 hits there, wound on 2s because the strength 7. Small toughness. So all but 1, so there's 5 wounds. So these are 2 damage each, so each one that goes through is a heavy weapons team killed. But they are only AP 1 or -1, so that's going to negate our cover, but we do have take cover. So at least we're saving on 4s, we need to save a lot. Right, we've lost 2 heavy weapons teams. I think we're going to use a command point reroll to try and save a heavy weapons team. No, we've lost 2 heavy weapons team. See if I get that stratagem back. We don't. Right, we've lost stratagem and 2 heavy bolters. Alright, with just 1 heavy bolter team left, the shot attack gun, he's sucking all of the little snotlings into his pipe. He's going to blast the heavy weapons team. So it's need to establish the strength.
Heavy D6.
Yeah, so it's 2d6 to establish the strength.
Yeah.
So it's going to be strength 10, and then it's d6 shots. So only 2 shots. He's hitting on 5s. Doesn't get either. Okay. Right, we ended the shooting phase with a few more shots there. We had big shooters at range here and big shooters at range there. Killed 1 guardsman in the building over there, and the big boss had a go as well. He didn't hit. So it's now charges. Is Zagstruk's charging the Chimera, is that right?
Uh-huh.
Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to play another stratagem for, where's it gone? Defensive gunners. It's 1 command point, just means we'll get to overwatch on 5s instead of 6s. So let's see if we generate that command point back. No, so we've lost another one, but hopefully it's going to be worth it here. So we've got a heavy flamer on board. Let's see if we can toast him. Get 3 shots out of it. What's his toughness for Zagstruck? Right, Zagstruck, he's toughness 4, so we'll need a wound on 3s with the heavy flamers. We'll get all 3. So he's actually got an armor save of 4, so he's saving on 5s on 3 dice. And then he's got a feel no pain style save of 5+ as well, because he's half a cyborg. So he's only taken 1 wound so far. We've got the multi-lasers now. All hit, that's really good. 3s to wound. 2 wounds, saving on 4s. Fails them both, needs 5s because of the cyborg body. Gets them both. Ugh. Right, heavy stubber. 1 hit. Needs a 4, nope. And then we've got the what they're called, the las gun arrays, because we've got a veteran squad on board, so we can shoot. So we've got 5s. Nope. Right, so I've just had a quick check just in case. It's only in shooting phase can you reroll 1s for Cadians, so you can't do it in the Overwatch phase. So he's got through with only 1 wound taken, and he needs a 6 to get in on those dice. He gets in. Right, so Zagstruck is in, but he has got a special rule called Full Throttle that does allow him to charge even after he's advanced, but because his pack is volatile on a 1, he'll take a mortal wound. Doesn't. Okay, so he's fine, and he's ready to attack. Alright, so Zagstruck's going to fight. He's got 7 attacks with his chopper, and 2 of them can be his feet, 1 for each leg. So the feet are in the red, those are the really damaging ones, they're like a power fist, but you don't take any minus. So all attacks hitting on 2s, the feet are in the red.
Command reroll.
Right, so command reroll. Gets it. Let's see if I steal that with Kuro's Quiller. Nope. Alright, so there's 4 hits with the sword. They're strength 6, so you're needing 5s to wound for those ones. Doesn't get. Oh, he gets 1. So that'll be saved on a 3 with the Chimera. Saves. And then here are the dangerous ones. So these wound on a 3. They are strength 12, but not enough to wound on 2s. Right, so the AP minus 2, minus 3, right, so save on 6s. Gets 1, that's pretty good, and it's D3 damage. So D3 damage for the Chimera, only the 1. Wow. Okay, so the Chimera attacks back Zagstruck, but can't find the mark, he's just floating above that tank, just don't hit at all. And the war boss, he could have charged, but he failed his charge. It was a long one to make, but he didn't get it even with his reroll. So that is it for the Orcs. It's time for the Cadians to retaliate. Okay, Imperial Guard, time to strike back. So they've moved a little bit. We've done a few stratagems as well. So we've done combined squads over here. Even got our command point back. So that the 2 10-man squads and now a 20-man squad lined up on the wall for that classic volley at the Orcs on the hill there. Sentinels remain still. The veterans get out of the Chimera. The Chimera then swings off to the side to expose Zagstruck. He had his chance. Now he's going to get melted into submission. And then over here, these just reshuffled on the top here. And then the medic from this platoon command squad brought back a heavy bolter. We did use a command point reroll to get it done, but we got our stratagem back there as well. And then we've got the platoon command here, ready to fire. So we've done orders as well, just to speed things up. We've got first rank fire on these. We've got take aim on the heavy bolters. We've got take aim on the veteran squad. And then we've got take aim on the 2, actually scratch that, we're going to do first rank fire on the top squad up here. Okay, so we've started shooting with the Imperial Guard. We've done all these guns up at the Orcs on the hill, killed 4. Grotznik, what's his name? Mad Dog Grotznik is trying to keep them alive, but it's just not working. And then over here we had the Commissar fire his plasma pistol at Zagstruck, didn't do anything, and then we fired 2 melter guns from in between those sentinels at him, and we have actually killed him. 9 wounds put on him at long range melter guns, just never had a chance. So that's going to free up the veterans to shoot at the approaching Orcs here. So with Zagstruck out of the way, it's invited a lot of shots to go on to this boy unit here. So they've lost a lot. There's only there's 5 there, so they've lost 5 out of that squad. We fired this squad at them. We fired the veterans at the tank buster squad. They're reduced to 1 Orc left now. We fired the command squad with the grenade launchers at them, whittled them down even further. And we've been able to peg off 2 looters with the autocannon on top. So there's now down to 3 looters in the woods. So we're onto the heavy bolters now. One of them's been resurrected with the medic. We're going to fire into the woods, try and take out the looters because they're the big threat. So with the order placed on the heavy bolters, they haven't moved. So with take aim, with Cadian doctrine, we can reroll all failed hit rolls. So needing 4s to hit, reroll failed hit rolls. So we get 5, it's pretty good. 3s to wound. 3 wounds, it's AP -1, so it's going to negate your cover, so it's back to raw 6s for the Orcs. 3 dead, that's the looters wiped out. We're going to have to check how many Orcs we've killed here. I don't think we're close to 22 yet. Okay, so we've done the calculations. Actually only need to kill 3 more Orcs for the wave to stop. So the first rounds of waves are pretty easy for the Imperial Guard, but as they go on, it'll get harder. So let's see if we can finish these 3 Orcs. We've still got, I wouldn't say plenty, but we've got some gunfire left. So we've got these 3 sentinels to fire. So we're going to fire 2 of them up the Orcs on the hill here, and we're going to have 1 fire back at the hurt Orc squad in the distance. So the 2 here, if we can just get 3 Orcs, that'll stop this wave dead. So that's pretty good. We've got 4 hits, 3s to wound the Orcs on the hill, all 3. Alright, this could be it then. So 4 dice, need save of 6s because of the squig hide armour, makes 1, and then that would be the 3. Unless Mad Dog Grotznik can keep them alive on a 6 with a feel no pain style roll. So you need 3 dice, 6s will keep 1 alive. No, there's our 3 Orcs, efficiently done by the Imperial Guard. So the Orcs are beaten off in that first wave. It was expected to be an easy wave. It may not get so easy as it goes on, but the Imperial Guard wipe the sweat from the brow and get ready for another wave as the Orcs slink off into the distance to regather themselves. So before the Imperial Guard redeploy in their little castle there, we'll have a look at the casualties of war. So I've only taken 2 casualties because we did resurrect a heavy bolter thanks to the medic on top. So I've got 2 casualties, and this is the list. So for this guardsman, we'll get a 1. So on the injury result, he's dead. This guardsman will take no further part in the battle. So he's totally dead, he's never coming back. Stays dead in the hospital, they just bury the body inside. The heavy bolter squad, they get a 4. 3 to 4, serious injury. The model starts the next Orc assault deployed in the hospital. At the end of the assault, roll again. So he stays in the hospital, he's still getting work done on him, but there's a chance he could come back. He's not dead yet, clinging on to life. Alright, wave 2 for the Orcs. So the Imperial Guard redeploy first and foremost. It is worth mentioning, I forgot to say, the Tech Priest did heal that wound on the Chimera last time, so the Chimera is still fresh. And then just a simple reshuffle, the Sentinels go over there, the Guardsmen, 20 Guardsmen squad go down here. Still good presence of the command in the centre, and then on top, basically the same story as before. The Orcs have already gotten their units in, so it goes like this. They've got a full 20-man Stormboy unit in the corner here, ready to pounce. Couldn't have went any better for the Orcs, getting the fast movers right in front of the Fleshy Guardsman line. And then over here, a bit more of a shooty attack. We've got 2 trucks, we've got a Scorcher here, and then a one with a double big shooter, spotted by 10 boys, they're ready to move in. Okay, so at the start of each assault, the Imperial Guard do have a chance to steal the initiative. So here we go, needing a 6. It's a 1, right, so the Orcs do secure that first attack. And on this hill we've got 2 boy squads, we've got a war boss, And then the shot attack gun, he's teleported over to this side of the battlefield. He didn't die the last time, so he's come back for another crack. He wasn't satisfied with what he did the last time. And then, again, in the corner, it didn't go the way they wanted because of random deployment. They've got one Orc, big mech, on a bike with a custom force field, but he's by himself. He's got no one to protect. It was a bit of a dud there, him coming on. But it's now over to the Orcs. Okay, so the first wave, just a test for the Orcs. Now they're getting serious. So in go the Storm Boys. They've advanced, but they can still charge. That's one of their special rules. So it's a short charge, and Orcs can reroll the charge range. They will have to take a volatile roll for the jetpacks. They might explode, but even if they do, still worth it just to get in amongst all those fleshy guardsmen. So that's looking very, very dangerous there. That is looking as worse as it can get. The big mech on the bike he's rode over here, he's still not going to contribute because they're not all within range of his custom force field, but he will get there. The Scorcher races down off the hill. It is an assault weapon, this Scorcher, I've been told, so it will be able to fire still. So literally, if you pardon the pun. And the Orc boys have come down off the hill here, and over there it's the same story. They've all ran forward, so they're closing the net. The shot attack gun on the hill over there. He's staying put, he's going to fire, as is this buggy here. He's going to fire as well. Okay, the Orcs are going to open fire. The shot attack gun on the hill, he's going to have his second go. He's going to fire at the Sentinels this time. You can see one. So what's the strength? 2d6. It's going to be strength 6. A Scout Sentinel's toughness 5. So he'll be wounded on 3s. How many shots is he getting? D6. It's the full 6. This is worrying. And it is hitting on 5s. Shot attack gun. He's got 2 hits. He's wounded on 3s because it was only strength 6. So here he goes. Wounded on 3s.
Do command reroll. I don't think there's going to be any other good for shooting anywhere. So
Alright, so command reroll. Oh, and he gets it as well. Let's see if we steal that command point. Yes, we do. So we gain a command point ourselves, but good shooting from the shot attack gun so far. So he's got 3 hits then. And he's wounded on 3s. He gets 2, and there's just no save. It's AP -5 as Snotlands just manifest inside that Scout Sentinel. So what does damage?
D3.
It's 2d3 damage then. So it's a 3 and a 3. That's what he needs. A Sentinel's only got 6 wounds, so a Sentinel's gone down. Let's see if it goes. Boom. It doesn't. Right, Sentinel destroyed. Alright, so after the Sentinel goes up in smoke, the Orcs open fire with all the guns on this side. Everyone pretty much advanced, so they had their shots at the heavy bolters and killed a heavy weapons team. And then this buggy put another wound on that base. So we did play our what's it called? No, where's it gone? I've got so many cards under us. It was the same one I played the last time. What is it called? Take cover. There we go. It's one stratagem. Couldn't save them though, even though we're saving on 3s. But we did get our command point back. We've still got 6 command points remaining. Still looking good on that front, but every heavy bolt that goes down is a real worry. And then over here he fired his data gun, hitting on 6s because he advanced, killed one of the command squad members, so nobody of real importance, luckily, but still another casualty gone. So now we've got this Scorcher. It is an assault weapon, so it still can fire, so he's going to fire up at the only squad you can see, which is this unit here. So D6 shots. It's basically a heavy flamer, so there's 5, and because it's automatically hits, there's 5 automatic hits. So strength 5, still needing 3s to wound, and he gets 4. Alright, so we're saving on 6s. No, not we're saving on 5s because we're in cover. It's AP -1 though. So we fail 4. We've lost 4 guys. Still, it's worth mentioning there's no morale checks for the Imperial Guard in this game because it's the last stand. So we've lost 4 guardsmen. We're starting to go now. Okay, so we're going to go on to the only thing that can charge is this massive posse of Storm Boys. They're going to go in on the guardsmen. So we're going to overwatch, see what we get. We have got 2 flamers in there. They're going to have to go on full tilt here to get something worth. Otherwise, we may be looking at a total graveyard here when this happens. So here we go. We'll get the overwatch done, see what happens. Right, so we've completed the Overwatch, but before we did, we actually looked at our stratagems, and it's just as well we did, because we played Grenadiers, which means up to 10 can throw grenades instead of shooting. So that's what we did, and then this is what happened. There's only, what, 7 Stormboys remaining. Killed 10 with the Overwatch. The 2 Flamers did well, grenades did really well, and then the last gunfire from the people who couldn't throw grenades was immense as well. And then they lost 3 with the rocket pack exploding. So 13 go down in one steady Overwatch. Michael Caine will be proud. So they just need a 3-inch to get onto the wall here, and then it's time for OT business. So they're clearly in. So Guardsmen going to get hacked up now, maybe. Stormboys are in then, they're raising the blades, and they're about to chop down. So there's 18 attacks going to rain down. So hitting on 3s. And that looks like a pretty good roll, only a few misses there. And then wounding on 3s, because the strength 4. Yeah, it's as deadly as I thought it was going to be. So there's 9, 10, 11 wounds. Going to have to save on 5s. Emperor, protect us. No, he doesn't. He does not at all. Only 2 saves, so there's 9 dead. 9 drop down dead. Ugh, gruesome. Right, we've got 4 attacks, no 3 attacks from the boss knob with Power Claw. He hits them all and wounds on 2s, and then just kills another 3. So we've lost 12 guardsmen. Right, after the horrendous casualties there, we're attacking back, and because we're within 6 inches of the priest, we're getting extra attacks. So we've still got our 2 sergeants left, and we've got 10 attacks in total with 20 attacks with everybody. So we're hitting on 4s. This is the hard part, and it wasn't great. And now the truly hard part, 5s. Not too bad. There's 3 on the Stormboys. So sit on 6s. Not a sausage. Okay, so the blows have been struck. That's the end of the combat. So there's only 5 Stormboys left. He chose to take his knob away because he had two wounds just to keep more bodies alive. And normally this would be a horrendous morale check, but he's going to play insane heroism and stay on the board. So it's automatic pass. Costs 2 command points to do that. Let's see if the Astra Militarum regain a command point due to the relic. Nope. So there we go. Stormboys live on. The guardsmen live on in some shape, but we've lost a lot of good men there. So it's over to the retaliation from the Astra Militarum. So it's worth saying as well, there's 55 models on the board for the Orcs, so the Astra Militarum rounding up, going to have to kill 28. So with the Stormboys taking heavy casualties, that was 15. So we've got 13 more to go. Right, it's the Astra Militarum. They're going to try and fight back here. So we've dropped out of combat with this squad, and we're also ordering them to get back in the fight, so they will be able to shoot even though they've dropped back out of combat. There's 2 flamers in there, still very deadly. It is worth remembering there's only 13 orcs to kill and then the round ends. So that's our goal, kill 13 models. So the Commissar and the priest have stepped up to try and take it to the Stormboys. This command squad with the 2 melter guns has walked right up to the barricades, going to try and pump 2 melter shots into the Scorcher. These have all stayed still on the top here, and the veterans have got out of the Chimera beyond the barrier. They're going to put some rat of fire into the fleshier target there, and the people up top there, just to reshuffle, they're going to add some las guns as well. So orders we did, of course, get back in the fight for these. We did take aim for this unit, so they're going to be able to reroll 1s. This commander with the Vox over here has cast take aim, first rank fire, second rank fire on the veteran squad, and then first rank fire on the squad in the building as well. So here we go. Going to tune up the flamers, see what we can get done. Alright, we start over here. The 2 flamers and the las guns burned the majority of the unit out. The Commissar kills 1, and then finally finished off by the lieutenant here with the bolt gun, kills him. So that squad's gone. That's 5 gone from the total. We needed 8 more, and then we began our shooting over here. So the veterans have killed a lot of that black unit over there. So many that we only need to kill 3 more orcs, and we've still got a lot of fire. We fired these down at the buggy It's on its last remaining wound, but that was done by the 2 Mulligans here. These didn't contribute whatsoever. We'll find the heavy bolter of that squad, but we've still got the Commando, we've got the 2 grenade launchers, we've even got the Chimera and the squad in the building ready to try and get us 3 Orcs. That's all we need. Okay, we're going to see if the Chimera can pick up those last 3 kills. So it did stay stationary, so we're rerolling 1s because we're Cadians, and we've got the multi-laser first. Let's hit them all. 3s to wound, this could be 8. Get them all. Right, need 3 saves of 6. Gets 1, right, there's 1 Orc left to go in the tally. We've still got the heavy stubber on top. Got 2 hits, 4s. We only get 1, you need another 6. Doesn't get it right, that's 3 Orcs. We've done it, we've stopped the second wave. The Cadians can go back, do the ammo dump in the middle, reload, get themselves a drink from the canteen, and brace for the next Orc attack. The Orcs are just going to once again slink off back into the hills and gather themselves once again for the 3rd wave. Okay, we're moving into wave 3 now. So these are the bodies that are in the hospital at the moment. We're going to have to roll on the casualties of war table. So just to refresh, 1 or 2, they're dead for the remainder of the game. They don't come back. On a 3 or 4, they stay in the hospital until the next wave, and then you get to roll again. On a 5 or a 6, they get back into the fight and join the squad from which they came. So we've got the 2 heavy bolter squads, 2 heavy bolter teams rather. See if they join the squad. So this one, he's dead, doesn't come back. This one, he is alive and he goes back to the squad. Very nice. We've got 4 miscellaneous guardsmen here. They're all the same, so it doesn't matter. So 3 of them join the squad, and 1 of them is now dead. His heart stops in the hospital, so he rejoins the squad. Then we've got him from the command squad. He's dead. And then we've got 11 guardsmen here from that big squad that put up a fight on the fence. They're all the same, so let's roll all these dice. Whoa, we're getting a few back. There's 5 return, 3 are dead, and 3 stay in the hospital. And then the last guy, he's from the same squad, but he's got a Voxcaster, and he stays in Purgatory. Alright, wave 3 begins. The Astra Militarum have redeployed. We've got all of the people out of the hospital and have joined the ranks again, so this is the ranks are swelled there. Got a heavy bolter back as well. So the only thing that's really changed is the Sentinels have went where the Chimera was, and the Chimera's come down to help out the squad here. So once again the veterans have piled back in after everyone's had a drink and reloaded the weapons, waiting for this next Orc attack. And since it's wave 3, the Orcs have decided to launch their major offensive right now. So just to refresh what that means, the Orcs selected before the game begins secretly on which number of assaults they wanted to do. They've selected the early one. It's turn 3, so they get 4 additional units. That's including the 6 that they already roll for. So because they've chosen an early assault, they've got 10 units on the board and then 3 HQ choices as well. So this is the attack. If it fails, the Imperial Guard win, but they've got a lot of bodies. They've got 73 models on the board. That means the Imperial Guard are going to have to kill I think it's 37 models to stop the wave. But this is the Orcs' final assault. They've chosen to go early, and this is what they've got and how they've ended up deploying. So the Storm Boys are back. There's 10 of them in this corner. Scorcher's back as well. There's a Blitzer bomber this time. The War Boss is called in to bomb a command, and in goes the Flyer who's going to do a bombing run on them. In this corner we've got 30 Gretchen. These are what are keeping the model count high. They're unsupported, just in the corner. They're desperately going to get behind that crate. And in this corner, this is where the heavyweights are. So we've got 2 trucks this time. The Orcs are not messing around. So in this truck, there's 10 tank busters. And in this one, really heavy stuff. There's a mech. Sorry, not mech. It's a war boss in mega armor. It's not Gazskull, it's just a normal war boss. But he's still pretty frightening. And then there's 5 flash gets in there as well. So a lot of firepower in there and a lot of firepower in that one.
There's also a boss and a paint boy in there.
Oh yeah, there's a boss and a paint boy in this one. Just a regular boss, not a mega armor boss. So a massive attack on this front. And just 2 sentinels and a couple of heavy bolters to keep them at bay. It's not looking good. And the Orcs have secretly got 2 units in a reserve deployment, and they'll come on at the end of the Orcs movement phase. So that is pretty scary prospect as well. Right, so the Orcs should be starting this attack wave off unless the Imperial Guard can steal the initiative. So if there's ever a time to steal it, now is the time. No, the Orcs will go ahead with their 3rd wave attack. Right, the Orcs bring the attack then, so as you can imagine, dust clouds kick up, the 2 trucks just advance straight into the fight here. Only 2 sentinels to slow them down, but it's not going to take too long. There's a tank buster squad in there, our assault weapons, so they will still be able to fire. And we've got the Storm Boys. They've jumped down off the hill. They haven't advanced. They didn't like the rocket packs blowing up on the other squad, so this squad's obviously a little bit more wise. And the Scorcher's gone down the hill as well, advanced, but because it's an assault weapon, it'll still be able to fire, no bother. And then the Blitzer Bomber is sailed all the way over here through the skies, and he's just clipping over this squad, so he's going to drop a bomb on them. But at the end of the moving phase, the Commandos join the fight, the sneaky gits. So there's a squad of 10 there, there's 2 burners in that unit, and Boss Snickrot, he's arrived with them as well. They've just had enough of these Imperial gits and they're just going to squash them now. So they're pretty much surrounded the Imperial Guard. Oh, the last things over here was the Gretchen. They run behind the crate, going to try and keep out of trouble. Okay, so in the moving phase we do the bomb. So the way this works is you roll for each model in the squad up to a maximum of 10. There is more than 10, so there's going to be 10 dice on 4s to mortal wounds. Going to drop a big bomb on them, and he's got probably just under half there, so just a little bit under average, but easy kills for the Blitzer Bomber. Alright, he's going to fire the super shooters down at this squad here, so he's got 6 dice, and he's hitting on 5s because he's an Orc.
Completely missed.
So completely missed. Then he's got a Grot Gunner on the back, Grot Tail Gunner. He hits on 4s, he gets all of them. Wounds on 3s, gets 1, so we need to save on a 5 on our trusty flat armour, and we do. The Emperor protects. Alright, moving on to shooting over here. So we've had the war boss in mega armour. He's fired up into the building there, didn't kill anyone, and then we had the big shooter off this truck fire at the heavy bolters, but we did play once again take cover, so they had a +1 to the armour save, so no casualties there. And then we've moved on to the contents of the truck now. So we're going to have the war boss. He's going to fire his combi Scorcher at the sentinels. It's automatic hits because he's in range, measured from any part of the truck. So D6, it's only 1 hit, but it does wound. It's AP -1, so we're saving on 5s. Oh, we get it. The Emperor does protect. Right, but that was just a tease. Now it's time for the rockets. So you want to do the rockets from the truck. He's hitting on a 6. Doesn't get it. Alright, the tank busters are up next, so they're going to shoot in on the sentinel. So they hit on 5s, and they can reroll all failed hit rolls. So there's 2 hits so far. One's a 5, one's a 6. There's one just hidden behind the truck there. So these are rerolls. And no other hits. Right, so now modifiers come in because he did advance. So it's a -1. So only the 6 counts, because that's how the game works these days. So it needs better than that. 2's no good. The Orcs don't have any command points for this wave. They were pretty light on the troop choices, so I haven't given them any command points for those detachment rules, because they're not even battle forged either. So no rerolls there, but they've got where they wanted to be. They're right up close. The rockets have missed though. Okay, doing more sort of small arm shots here. We've got both units firing the pistols. Just did them both all together at the heavy bolters, but it's been very well shot from them. They've achieved 7 wounds, but we did play the take cover stratagem, so we are getting a healthy save here. We're saving on 5 flat armor, 1 because we're in cover and 1 because of that stratagem, so we're saving on 3s, and it's a clean sweep. Wow, the Emperor is protecting us in this wave. Right, the Scorcher is going to have a go now. Because it's an assault weapon, he can still get automatic hits even though he's went flat out. So D6 shots, he's getting 4. So it's strength 5, needing 3s to wound. Gets 3. Right, this is AP -1, so it's going to cancel our cover. But we've still got our take cover rule. So 4's in the end. That's what we need. 2 fails, that's all he needed. That's a heavy weapon squad. Burnt to a crisp. So that's the end of the shooting phase for the Orcs. They're going to enter the charging now. So it's the Storm Boys. They need to make a charge up to this squad here. They're going to need a 6 on the dice. It's just over a 6, but 6 on the dice is required. We'll just do the roll first. So they're in. We'll do our Overwatch. See if we can strip some away. Okay, so we did our Overwatch. We're only able to kill 1 Orc with the autocannon, and they rolled a 9-inch charge. So they've gotten in. 2 won't be able to fight, but there's a lot going to be fighting there. And we've done a heroic intervention with our company commander. He's got a power fist. He's going to have to use it. Right, so these Storm Boys have 3 attacks each, so it's 18 attacks coming in. Going to be deadly. Hitting on 3s. That's about average. Right, wound on 3s. That was bad, right? There's only 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds. The Orcs have faltered. 7 on 5s. We get 3 saves. The Emperor really is protecting us here. We only lost one guardsman. So that'll be him. Right, time to fight back. Okay, we're going to attack with the company commander. He's got 3 attacks. He's hitting on 3s normally, but he's got a power fist, but he's not bothered. He's hit with them all. Strength 6, needing 3s. He's got them all. He's killed 3 Orcs outright. This is a stalwart defense here. Alright, so we've got 3 Orcs down. We've got 10 attacks from the plain guardsman now, 3 attacks from the sergeant, making up those 10. So hitting on 4s, we're on 5s, we get 2. It's really good fighting from the guardsman. So you need 2 saves of 6 there for these Storm Boys. No, both fail. Wow. Storm Boys lose that combat. Alright, so the fighting's complete there. So the Orcs in the Storm Boy unit have lost 5 in total, because he did take that last wound on his knob just to lessen the casualties here. So that's 5 casualties in the turn. The leadership's 7 with the knob, I think. So he needs a 2 to hang on with that squad. No. It's major casualties as well, so not only do they run away, it's a full wipeout on that squad. Right, so that was pretty much a shocker there, beating off the Storm Boys for a second time. Who knew? So that brings our model count to slay down to 27. Need 27 more Orcs, but now it's no joke. All those units are wrapped up in the trucks. There's only the Commandos that are the fleshier target, and the Gretchen have hidden themselves away behind that crate over there. So it's now going to become harder. I don't think we've got enough firepower to take down those trucks. Right, moving phase for the Astra Militarum is over. We've done some crafty stuff here. The Chimera started here. We've got the veteran squad out to try and tackle the Scorcher. We've got still 3 melter guns in there to try and deal with him. And the squad here, the bomber killed enough to reduce the squad down, but I was able to get the rest of the squad over to the Chimera as well as the 2 characters. So they're now moved over here with the squad inside. We're going to go on a Gretchen hunt, try and go after those Gretchen that are hiding in the corner. This command squad, they step forward, going to try and do 2 melter guns up into the sky, see how they can achieve. This unit hasn't moved all game and nothing's going to change. They're going to hold tight there. Sentinels, they're standing strong, staying still. And then the tech priest goes up on the roof here. So this medic, he needs a medal. He's got another heavy bolter team back from the dead. Did use a command point to re-roll it, but got our stratagem point back using the Aquila. Sorry, it's his warlord trait, that's what we did, that's how we got back. So the undying heavy bolters, they just will not die. This medic is doing better than the entire hospital. So that is it, that's all our movement. We've done our orders as well. We've got take aim on this squad here. We've got take aim on the heavy bolters, and that is it, because he was out of range to do orders. There's no voxcasters left for him. Alright, start the shooting phase over here with this Chimera on a Gretchen hunt. We did the main guns and the las gun array at the Gretchen, only killed 2, and then we did the flamer up into the sky and shaved off 2 wounds off the Orc bomber. As ridiculous as it is that you can fire a heavy flamer into the sky, that's what we did. Doesn't feel right, but them's the rules. We've got 2 melter guns, they're going to fire into the sky. So these are a command squad, so they're hitting on 3s naturally, -1 because we're into the sky. So 4's required, and we spectacular in this. Then we've got a las pistol, why not? He's hit, doesn't get it, he needed a 6. Right, the veteran squad, they're firing at the Scorcher. We've done all the las guns and a bolt pistol, just clipped 1 wound off it. We've got the triple melter guns now at it. Needing 3s, we can reroll 1s because we've got take aim order in effect. Oh, nope, so it's still missed, so 2 hits though, should be enough, dare we say. Only 1 wound, we're going to use a command point reroll to reroll that. So we'll get our command point back because of the warlord trait we do. It's been going really nicely for us getting our command points back. So there's 2 wounds, goes straight through the armour, nothing the Orcs can do about that. So the first shot, best of 2, the best of 2. So 3 wounds so far, it's got 2 left, and a 6 will do just nicely. Does a Scorcher blow up? Well, just roll the dice and see if it does or not. Well, it doesn't anyway, regardless if it did. The Scorcher's gone down. Okay, I've had this squad fire now. We'll fire down at the Commandos here, killed 2, and then we'll have the autocannon fire back at the flyer with no damage. But 2 Commandos down, and now we're going to open up with the heavy bolters down on them. So the heavy bolters have the take aim order in effect. So with them standing still in the Cadians, it's full reroll. So hitting on 4s. Rerolls. Oh, they've all hit. It's just been incredible dice rolling from the Cadians, as if they needed it. So 3s to wound, and that is 5 wounds. So AP -1 just cuts down 5 Commandos where they stand. Right, over onto the trucks, we fired 2 grenade launchers at the truck. Took 2 wounds off it with crack shots. And now we're going to fire the Sentinels at that truck. So we're going to use overlapping fields of fire. It's a special Cadian one. Just means the Sentinels will get, or everything firing at that truck from now on, will get a +1 to hit. So in fact, we'll see if we get our command point back. Nope, we don't this time. Right, so we've got the multi-lasers at that truck. So we're hitting on 3s with that stratagem in effect. And because we're stood still, we reroll 1s. Okay, just 5 hits. Strength 6 versus toughness 6. Even 4s. We only get 1 truck with a save. Saves on a 5. Alright, so we finished the Imperial Guard shooting phase. After the Sentinels, we had the rest of the squad in that building fired down at the truck. It's on 2 wounds remaining now. Then he had a shot up into the sky with his bolter and didn't do anything. So that is it. It's now morale checks for the Orcs. It's been a devastating turn for them. So they've lost 7 in this squad here. So I think they're just going to fill. Yep, it's 6. They're absolutely going to fill. So it's just Snickrot left standing in the open. He's still in the game, but he's not pleased. The Grots over here, they took 2 casualties. They're only leadership 4 because they've got no assistance. That's flown off the table. 1, they've passed. No more casualties from the Grots, but they're under pressure here. Trying to hide behind the box there, but the Gretchen hunt commences. Right, so the Cadians are just adding up how many Orcs have gone down that round. So at the start of the wave, there was 37 that required. We've killed 10 Storm Boys, killed 10 Commandos, both pretty lucky, and then we've killed this truck as well. So we actually need to kill 16 more models. It's going to be significantly tougher now because the flash kits are not easy to kill and the war bosses are on the doorstep now. It's just a matter of can these Gretchen hold out in time. Okay, so the Orcs have moved. They're pretty desperate now. They just did not see that breakaway Chimera coming, and the Grots are probably going to be the ones that need to be helped here. So they've tried to make manoeuvres. They're going to have to do it in this round or something significant. So the Rocket Boys get out the damaged truck. They're going to have to take down this Chimera. They're all in range. They're going to fire through the legs of the Sentinels at it, see if they can take it out. Desperation from the truck here. It swung round, did advance, going to fire a rocket, and then hopefully in the future turns, if the Chimera goes down, the flash kits will try and shoot them before they get to the Grots in the corner. So we redid the tally. It's actually 14 kills that the Imperial Guard need now, because we forgot to count those 2 Grots that died previously. So it's all hands at the pump now. The Mega Boss, he breaks off before the truck goes away. He's burst through the wall there. He's going to get his hands on these Sentinels. Snickrot, he's ran up here. So I'll change angle, it's easier to see. Snickrot, he's standing there. He's within 3 inches of the war boss, so he's going to be able to charge this turn. The second war boss is in there as well. He's got a power claw and a Scorcher. He's ready to go, and the Pain Boy is standing there ready to try and keep people alive, and he's going to need to. Then the Blitzer Bomber angles off here. It's not going to bomb and run anybody this time, but next time, if it goes the next game, they're going to fly over here, try and do another bomb and run, but it will contribute its guns. Probably going to shoot what's left of that command squad over there. Right, going to start the shooting phase with the cheeky rocket off the truck. So he's hitting on a 6 because he advanced, but no, it's not going to happen. But now to the more significant shots. All of the tank busters going to fire at this Chimera, so they're all in range there. 5s and then re-roll. So there's 4 hits so far, and then you can re-roll these. And there's another 3 hits, so that's pretty good from the tank busters. At 3 damage each, they very well could kill this Chimera. They just need 3s now to convert these to wounds. Right, that's pretty good, only 2 go awry. So there's 5 wounds. We're going to need to save on 5s because the AP -2. We failed 4, and at 3 damage each, that well may just kill us. 1, 2, 3. Right, we could do a command reroll and try and keep this Chimera alive and just really sink the Orcs ship. We are going to do it because we're just horrible like that. So we're going to try and do a command reroll. If we can, we'll stay alive. No, we don't. The Chimera's gone. See if we explode. No, let's see if I get any command point back for using that. No, right. It's now a different scene. Chimera goes down, the squad has to pile out and see if they take any casualties. Right, there they are, the pile out. The Chimera will lose 2 in the blast. So it's now a long walk to the Grots, and the Grots can just fend for themselves as well. In such number they get a +1 to hit as well, so shooting against guard, they're a pretty good shot. Could be humiliating if we go over there now. Right, coming around here for the Orcs. This war boss with his combi Scorcher, he's going to fire up at the heavy bolter team. Before he does though, we're going to plough a stratagem for take cover to give us that all important +1 or cover save. Let's see if we get the command point back. Yes, we do. Lovely stuff. Right, so on you go with your Scorcher. So there's 2 automatic hits. There's 2 wounds. Right, we're saving on 4s with that AP -1 in effect. We take a single wound on a heavy bolter team. Okay, and because it's a combi, he can give it both barrels, and he's going to do his the shooty barrel of it. So it is at a -1, so a 6 does hit. Needing a 3 gets it. Right, we're needing a 3 to save on this. We do. Still alive. We've got big shooter off this truck. So what's firing? Big shooter at the heavy bolter, trying to shave off that last wound. It is injured, but the the shooting profile doesn't go down. So needing 3s, gets 1, needs a 3 again. We don't do it. We've lost a heavy bolter. Right, back over here we're going to have aerial strike on these guys. So we've got 2 super shooters coming down. Needing 5s to hit to get 1. Needing a 2 to wound. Get that wound. It's AP -1, so we're saving on a 6. Okay, so that's 1 guy dead. Do we take the colours or a melter gun? I can take a melter gun because no self-respecting Imperial Guard player would ever let the colours fall. So we've got the grot shooter hitting on 4s, doesn't do it. Okay, so we finished off the Orc shooting phase. We had this war boss. He fired up at the command squad but didn't do anything. So we're going straight onto the charge phase here. So we're just going to do this all together. Snickrot's going to go up onto the roof and fight one of the squads. So the other 2 characters, they're going to get on the roof and fight it out. This war boss is going to go in on the sentinels, and these tank busters are going to try and get in on these in this building. It's going to be a bit of a long charge for them, but they've got here we go, so they can reroll charge ranges if need be. Alright, the Orc charge is upon us, and it's a big one. So the only person who didn't get what he wanted with this war boss. So the pain boy went up first, absorbed the heavy bolter shots, only took a wound on the way in. The boss wanted to go around the back of them all and get in, but he could only settle for the heavy bolter when he rolled his charge range. He did try and assault them all, declared them all as a charger, but that's how it's ended up. So 2 big hitters on a heavy bolter. The company commander, he's done a heroic intervention onto the pain boy, and Snickrot, he jumped up and is attacking this squad here. So he's really dangerous, Snickrot. And then over here, this war boss, he got a long charge, so he went around the back of the pipe and into the back of the sentinels. It freed up a nice space for all of these tank busters to go up into the building, and they're attacking the Cadians in that building. But there's only 2 that are available on the wing there, so he's only going to have 4 boys fighting in that building. But that should be enough anyway to kill some guardsmen. So we're going to start meeting bayonets and blades here. Right, so the pain boy is going to attack first, try and get his blows off before the company commander punches him in the face with his power fist. So he's got a massive claw, but he's just been dying to jab someone with his earthy syringe to see what happens. So here he goes, the earthy syringe, he's hitting on 3s, and then the earthy syringe wounds anyone on 2s. So he's got all 4 because the earthy syringe is full of earthy stuff. So we're just on our armor save for the heavy bolters, so 5s. So the heavy bolt team's gone down, and we saw them pulped by the earthy syringe. Alright, Snickrot, he's ready to fight. He's got his Mork's teeth, knives ready to go. He's so dangerous. He's got 6 attacks he hits on 2s. He's got all but 1, and he's naturally strength 6. He's absolutely ferocious. So 2s to wound against the guardsman. So there's 5 wounds. And AP -1. It's 2 damage as well. It's not going to matter in this case in point, but he's really cool. Right, so 6s to save. Don't get any. So there's 5 brave guardsmen drop down dead. There's a reason why he's got all those dog tags wrapped around his arm. Alright, Snickrot consolidates onto the sergeant. He's just telling him to shush. His pain will be over soon. So the war boss in mega armor. He's going to strike these sentinels in the back. So he's got 4 attacks and hitting on 3s because of power claws at a -1. So he gets 3, and he's strength 12 with a power claw. So he's wounded on 2s against the feeble scout sentinels. He gets all of them. So it's AP -3 each blow. So there's no save. So it's D3 each. So you need to do 2 at a time because there's no way you can kill them. So there's 4 damage, and then the last one is 1. So the sentinels have got 6 wounds each, so one of them's left with a wound left, so he didn't quite get 1 sentinel. Right, last thing to fight is the tank busters in the fray there. So the 5 are eligible to fight, so there's 10 attacks hitting on 3s, and there's a good portion of misses there, with 50% fill, and 3 wounds, 7 on 5s, we get 1. So 2 guardsmen dead in that squad up top. Right, the Imperial Guard fight back now. We've already done this squad in here, actually killed 3 orcs in retaliation, which is pretty good. So that leaves our score down to 10. We need to kill 10 more Orc models and we can beat off the wave, but we've taken heavy casualties now. The Sergeant and the Heavy Weapons team fight back against Snickrot, cause a single wound. He's got 5 wounds left. So now it's time for the company commander to step up with his power fist. He's going against the Pain Boy. That's who he could only reach at the time. So he's hitting him with a power fist, hopefully. 4s to hit. He's got them all. He's on fire, this guy. 3s to wound. He's got all but 1. Do we use a command point reroll? No, we're going to just let that slide. So there's no armor save there because it's AP -3. So it's D3 damage each. So it's 3 damage, that's all the wounds he's got. He's going to need to do his Pain Boy saves on 6s. Oh, he got 1, he's alive with 1 wound left. That is not what we expected. Maybe we should have used that command point reroll. That's what happens when we're being greedy. Alright, so we've reached the end of the assault phase. So the Rocket Boys in there are going to have to take a morale check. They lost 3, the leadership 7 with the Nob still amongst them. So 3 plus 4 is 7, they passed their morale. They did keep a Rocket Boy at the back in range of that war boss just in case there was a bad morale check on the go. But that's the end of the Orcs' turn. It was a devastating one. They've got everything that they needed there just about. The Imperial Guard are going to have to attack back here and attack back strong. Okay men, time to shine. We've moved this squad down here closer to the Gretchen. Only got a couple of las guns to fire and we're really mean. Just 3 there. We've got an auto gun on the priest as well. Try and shave down some grots. Over here we've dropped out of combat with this unit. The veterans have just stepped back a little bit so we can see Grotsnick with the triple melter guns. We're going to try and blow them out of there. And then over here this squad stayed still. The commander's still locked in combat, and then the engine seer, he's going to put that axe to the test against the war boss, see what he can do. Sentinels have dropped out of combat there. He's going to allow this melter gun a Hail Mary shot at this mega boss, and then these stay in combat. We're just going to fight hard there. So there's 10 models to kill. That's all we need to do to take down this wave. Let's see what we're going to do. We've done orders as well. So the lieutenant's here now. There's a Voxcaster in this unit. So these are going to have take aim. This squad's going to have get back in the fight so they can shoot again. This squad's going to have take aim, and because they stood still, that's full rerolls to hit there. And that squad, unfortunately, in the distance is out of range for orders. Right, so start of the shooting phase, we had the las guns at the grots and didn't kill any of them, just missed all the shots. It's worrying. We're going to move on to this veteran squad now. So we've got 3 melter guns at Grotsnick. Let's see if we can do them in. So these veterans hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s because of the order. We've got 2 hits. Do we do a command reroll? No, we don't. Alright, 2s to wound. We get both wounds. There's no saves for Grotsnick there. We made sure we are within double dice range. He's only got 5 wounds left, so the first melter shot kills him outright. In fact, no, he's got 6 saves to do for these Pain Boy saves. Let's get your 6 dice. So 6s for the Pain Boy because he's still alive. There you go. Gets 1, but it's not enough. He's taking those 5 wounds. Grotsnick is down. Right, with Grotsnick down, there's only 9 orcs to go now. We're going to do this squad at the war boss because we can see through the gap there. And characters can't protect characters anymore. So we've got a Lav's pistol. He's hit. Doesn't wound. And then we've got the auto cannon. Hits on 4s, gets it. In fact 5s because we did move with a heavy weapon, so it doesn't hit after all. Right, on to the command squad. We've got 2 grenade launchers firing solid shot into the war boss. Let's see what we can do. So these hit on 3s and we've got full rerolls, but we don't need it. 3s to wound, it's strength 6. We'll get both of them right. It's AP -1, so the war boss is saving on 5s with his odd armor, so there you go. He's filled them both, so it's D3 damage each. That's only 2-3 damage. He's not going to die off that. I'll tell you what, we're going to do a command point reroll on this, see if we can get higher. We don't. So just 3 wounds and you've still got the ability to do your pain boy saves because he's still alive, he hasn't died yet. So 6s to block wounds. He's taken 2 wounds and saved 1, so only 2 wounds on the war boss. And I got 2 las pistols. Reroll all fatal hits with take aim. Gets 2, needs 5. Doesn't get any. Right, las pistol from the Tech Priest Engine Seer. Gets a hit. Doesn't wound. Oh dear. Alright, I've got the Hail Mary shot over here. We've got the Mulligan at the Mega Knob. He's hit. Wounds on a 3. He gets a wound. Double dice range. Takes 4 wounds. Right, the war boss is down to 3 wounds left, and then we threw a crack grenade at him and just bounced off his armour. So that's all we can do for shooting. The Sentinels stay quiet. This squad stays quiet because they're locked in combat, so now it's time for charges. So we're going to have to do the Tech Priest is going to go in, and so is the command squad on the war boss. We're going to have to see if we can do him in. Okay, so there we are in combat. So the Tech Priest, he had to go in first. He took a wound from the Scorcher on the way in, and then the command squads had to assault the war boss and the pain boy at the same time, but obviously they don't take any overwatch. So the war boss has got 4 wounds left, and we've only got 2 attacks with the Engine Seer, but he's got the Omniscient Axe, which is 2 damage each. So we're going to have to see if he can do it here. So he's hit on 4s, unfortunately. He gets a single hit. I think we're going to have to command reroll. Yep. Alright, we've got 2 hits. Sweet. Let's see if we get our command point back. Nope. Right. We're toughness. We're strength 5 with the Omniscient Axe against war bosses toughness 5, so we're needing 4s to wound the hard part. Come on. Oh no, not any. Right, it's down to the command squad. Let's see what they can do. It's tragic. We fought with the command squad. They didn't do anything to the war boss. We've got some wounds, but he saved them. This is going to be a harsh retaliation. Right, in our other fights, we're going to have the Commando go first with his Power Fist against the Pain Boy. He's only got 1 wound left, this Pain Boy. Right, the Commander's hit with all of his attacks again. He's super with this Power Fist. 3 to wound. He's got 2 wounds, and it's damage D3 each. So there's 4 wounds you're going to have to try and feel no pain on. Doesn't get any, so that is the Pain Boy dropped. Okay, we've both done the fights in this building now, and the Orcs kill 4 guardsmen. So there's only the sergeant, the heavy weapons team with a wound on him, and a single guardsman left in that fight. And the Orcs didn't lose any. Right, the Orcs finished that fight phase with an attack from the war boss against the Tech Priest Engine Seer, and the Engine Seer lives with 1 wound left. He took some chomps from the squig and took a swipe from the power claw, but he still stands. His bionics are in tatters, but he still remains on his feet. Orcs on the move. The Grots are definitely on the move, doing what Grots do, and that's run away. So they had a choice here. They could go and face down this guard squad. They could do it. There's quite a lot of them, and they're good shots. But there's some characters in there, and they might slip through the net and cause the damage. So they're just going to run away up the hill. It's going to pull the guard probably over to them, which will put them in the crosshairs of the oncoming flash gits. So the flash gits are in range. They did move with the heavy weapons, but the ballistic skill 4 flash gits, so they still should have some significant firepower to plunge into these Imperial Guardsmen here. So significant firepower there still left with the Orcs. This fight continues in the building, no one's moved. The mega boss, Warlord, he's just going to do what he's done before and attack the sentinels. He's probably going to try and shoot those 2 guardsmen who shot him in the back, probably with help from the truck as well. And the flyer, so the flyer is zoomed over here from its location over there, and it's passed over the sentinels. So because they're a vehicle, it's going to drop a big bomb on them. It's the last big bomb, and it's going to be the best one so far. So because it's a vehicle squadron, you roll 3 dice for each vehicle in the squadron. So the 6 dice, any 4s are mortal wounds. So here we go. Right, there's 2 mortal wounds, and one of them was on his last mortal wound anyway. So I'm going to see if he explodes. Doesn't explode, and the other one is down to 5 wounds left. So that's a more than manageable job for the mega boss. Okay, quick shooting phase from the Orcs there. The war boss, he fires into this command squad, but the save on the armour, very well done for them. The truck does the same, save again, and this flyer fires in on the sergeant and the heavy weapons team here. Killed the sergeant and the heavy weapons team, luckily saved. So the long range firepower of that squad is still with us, and not a lot more. So the Gretchen can't fire because they ran up the hill, but it's time for the flash kit. So there's 15 shots there, and they're going to fire into the guardsmen here. So the guardsmen, they're going to take cover again, which will give them a +1 to their armour save, or save and throw. Let's see if we get the command point back. We do. It's working well for us, that. So you've got 15 shots from the flash kit. So they're normally hitting on 4s, but they did move with a heavy weapon. So they're hitting on 5s against this squad here. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. So there's your hits. So there you go. So the toughness, strength 5 against toughness 3. So you need 3s to wound, and he gets all 3. So let's get some dice here. So he gets all 3, or just 3 rather. Getting tired now. So 3, and AP -2. But I've got that stratagem in place, so they're effectively AP -1. So save on 6s. Nope, 3 go down, and then on a 6 the flash kits get to fire again. They don't fire again. Ooh, lucky. Right, last thing to fire from the Orcs was the truck. Fired a rocket at the sentinel, but it missed. So it's time for combat again. There's no charges from the Orcs, it's just the ongoing fight. So, oh sorry, there is a charge. The war boss is going in on the sentinel. He's going to try and mop him up. And then the war boss is going to be fighting here in the continued fight, and then the fight continues in that building. Okay, strange times in the combats here. So the war boss fights first, misses most of his attacks and puts 4 wounds on the sentinel in the end. So the sentinel is left with 1 wound left. Over here we'll immediately play to jump the queue, the stratagem, can't remember what it's called, but where you fight next with the Cadian squad in there. We wanted to die with our boots on, but didn't kill any Orcs, and then we came back over here. The war boss fought the command squad, just wanting to kill those grenade launchers just in case he died, and he rolled poorly as well. So only 1 guy died out of that squad. Terrible performance from the war boss. He's losing his faith with Gork and Mock. And then the tank busters, they easily clean off the rest of the stain of that Imperial squad in that building. So that squad is now eradicated. The tank busters are free to shoot next turn, but we still have to fight with the characters against the war boss here to see what happens. So we're going to do the tech priest, see if he can finish him off. We're going to use red dice this time for Mars. So he's hitting on 4s, and he's missed them all. Command squad, let's see if they can do it. So I've got 2 guys with chainswords in there, and a guy with a grenade launcher. They get 1 hit, needing a 5. They don't do it either. Oh dear. Alright, so it's pretty disappointing the Cadians didn't kill any Orc at all in that round. So the tally is still at 8 left to go, and the Orcs are just doing away with some squads here and there. The war boss disappointing on the sentinel. The sentinel stomps back and doesn't do anything back to the war boss. So it's back over to the Imperial Guard. They're going to have to put in the kill and blow here. If not, then the Orcs might just take the day here. Okay, we're in desperation mode now for the Imperial Guard. We're almost at the end, we feel. 8 Orcs left to go, so we're moved around. We've had the veterans go around the building here. We're going to have to pump shots into those tank busters now that they've got themselves out of combat. We're going to have to kill some orcs that are in cover. It's going to be more difficult than we'd like to be. The sentinels pulled back out of combat there. We're going to get a melter shot into the back of that war boss just in case. Over here we've broken out of the combat from the war boss with the command squad. We're going to get back into the fight with the company commander so they can still shoot. This guy stayed still and we're giving him take aim. And while we're at it, for orders, the veteran squad, they have first rank, second rank fire on them as well. So the tech priest is still locked in combat with the war boss. And probably the warlord of the Imperial Guard will join in and take the fight to the Xenos beast. And over here, this is where it matters the most really. This guardsman squad goes 6 inches. Some of them are in rapid fire range of the grots and in range of the plasma pistol as well from the Commissar. So every grot we kill is so important. It's worth noting as well, we've kept our rocket still. He's going to fire a rocket frag shot up at the grots. He's the only one with the range, and this auto cannon might contribute as well. So if we don't kill 8 Gretchen, then we don't deserve to win the game. So here we go then. Alright, the Lord Commissar is going to open up with the first shot and show his boys how it's done. He's a Lord Commissar, so he hits on a 2 with a plasma pistol. Ooh, just does it. 2's to wound. Alright, we kill a grot. First one down. Alright, the priest, he's in rapid fire range with his auto gun on his back. He's hit once. He's failed the wound. Oh dear, right, we've got 3 las guns in rapid fire range of the grots. And we've only hit once. And we don't even wound. Oh no, it's gone so wrong. Right, we're coming over to the veteran squad now, so we're going to fire all the las guns into the tank busters. We're going to have the 3 melter guns at the front fire at the war boss. I'm going to have the missile launcher fire a frag missile over at the grots. So we're going to have the las guns first. They're on first rank, second rank fire, so they've doubled the shots, so there's 10. And we're hitting on 3s because the veterans. 5s to wound. That's good, there's 3. Orcs are in cover, so they're saving on 5s. They get 2 and fail 1. This is so painful. Right, we've got the 3 melter guns at the war boss. And we get 2 hits. 1 wound. He's got 3 wounds left. We're not at short range. So only 2 wounds. In fact, does he get his armor saved? Because he saves on 6s. He saves anyway. Oh no. Right, we've got a ball pistol from the sergeant at him. He's hit. Needs a 5. He gets it. 2+ to save for your war boss. Does on a 3. Oh dear. Alright, frag missile at the Gretchen. So important we roll high for how many shots. We're getting 4. It's not bad. Hitting on 3s because he stayed still. We have 3 hits. Wounding on 2s. We'll get 2. Do we use a command point reroll? Yes we do. We're going to use a command point reroll to reroll that because we need every grot to die. So there's 3 grots dead. Right, do we get the command point back for that command point reroll? We do. Right, we're still 1 command point in hand then. Right, so we've killed 4 grots so far and a tank buster. That gives us 5, which means we've got 3 models left to kill. Alright, we're going to have the melter gun into the back of the mega boss. He's hit. Wounds on a 3. We've wounded him. We are at close range, but you do get the save on 6, we've remembered now. Doesn't do it, right, I get 2 dice. Pick the best. He's got 3 wounds left, this war boss. We've done it, we've killed the war boss. So there's another model down. And boy, what a model. Alright, 2 more orcs to kill. We've got the lieutenant in amongst them. He's going to fire his bolt gun up into the structure there. He's hit on a 5, needs a 4. He gets it. You need a 5 to save. Doesn't save. There's another tank buster gone down. We need 1 more orc to die. Right, we're going to fire 2 grenade launchers into the building there. So we're going to fire frag shots. So 2d6. We're getting 7 shots. These are a command squad, so we hit on 3s with these. We get 4. 5s to wound. Nothing. Oh dear. Okay, we've got the autocannon. It's going to fire over the grot. He's got take aim on him so he can reroll all failed hit rolls, so he needs 4s to hit. He gets 1, he can reroll. No, missed on a 2. Here we go, kills on a 2. Right, we've got that grot. And so with that grot dying, that is the 8 required. We've beat back this wave, and all it took was an autocannon to take a grot's head off and a few command rerolls. So we've beat the Orcs in this round, and that was the round that they declared was the main assault. So the Imperial Guard have won the day. The flags fly high. But before they slink off into the shadows, we're going to resolve this one fight here. So the company commander has gone in to sort out this head Orc once and for all. So Power Fist at the ready. Hitting on 4s. He's hit once. He's hit twice. We need 3s to wound. We got 1 wound. We're going to use our last command point reroll. See if we get that back, in fact, on a 5. Nope. So do we hit? Oh, sorry, do we wound on a 3? We do. Right, there's 2 solid blows on the Orc's head. So there's no save, it's 2d3. Because we just kill him out right here. Punch his eye and jaw off. It's not enough, we've only got 2 and 3. So 3 wounds taken off him, he's got 1 wound left. Right, it's down to the engine seer to see off this Orc. He's got 2 attacks with the Omniscient Axe. Hits on 4s. He gets both hits this time. It's strength 5 against toughness 5, needing 4s to wound. He gets it. I'm going to have to check the AP on this. So an axe, just like a power axe, it's AP -2. So it just comes down to this. The Orcs have to roll a 6 to stay alive. If not, the boss falls. It's a 1, right? So the war boss falls. That was just the icing on the cake there. The Imperial Guard have already took the day, and now they've taken the head of the war boss. So that's the end of the game. The Orcs had some terrible luck there. In the last round, they didn't roll above a 4 for the power level of the units that could come onto the table. So they were at a big disadvantage there, not being able to get the heavy hitters on. But that last round was very, very close. So units of the match, the Imperial Guard. I was going to give it to the medic because he just kept the heavy bolter team alive, and the heavy bolters did really good work, but it wouldn't have been that way if it wasn't for the medic patching them up. But I think the man of the match has got to go to the company commander. Not once did he miss with that Power Fist and just beat down a load of heavy hitting Orcs and themselves. And I mean, why wouldn't he? He survived Cadia to lead the Phoenix of Cadia, the Cadian 29th. Orcs just a walk in the park compared to what happened in Cadia.